Good evening. It's Friday evening and it's time for your weekly edition of Ask Sid. Joining me tonight is the one and only Sean Hurley. Sean, how are you this evening? How are you? You good?
I'm fine. Glad the international break's over. Looking forward to a bit of proper football, as I call it. Always a club before country, man, mate.
You know what? These useless international breaks, friendlies, it doesn't. I mean, all right, Wales you can understand because they had a game to play, qualification and whatever, whereas England is just two friendly games that didn't really need to be played. Injuries for players. I mean, what's really peed me off is Romero going all the way to Argentina. He was on a 2-match ban. Argentina were hoping that they try and get a 1-game ban, but it didn't work out. So why did he still stay there? He should have come back and should have been training. But, because it's a long flight and then he comes back and he's going to be all this jet lagged and this, that, the other. And it's pointless, honestly. And especially now with this coming to the end of the season and games are coming thick and fast and competitions and that. Every club needs their players, don't they? So I just think it's an absolute fruitless, useless friendlies to have. And I think a lot of the managers should do what Alex Ferguson used to do in the days and just say, "Oh, my man's injured. My man's got an injury. He's not playing. Sorry, I'm pulling him out."
I think nowadays their medical staff or the associations insist on seeing the player themselves. So he was still flown out.
Absolutely.
And they did release him as soon as it was officially announced that he couldn't get the ban lifted. So, I mean, he was back training. He was quite happy in the pictures I've seen. So,
yeah,
I'm more concerned about him picking up yellow cards before the cut-off date. Playing for us, that is.
Yeah, that's it. But I think, like you said, he should be okay. Just before we move on, guys, everybody, please like, subscribe, and smash that like button. We give you shows every week, so we do our best, and just smash that like button, basically.
Yeah, keep hitting the like and comment in the comments, and take issue with us. We don't mind. We got broad shoulders here at Paxton Road TV.
We have, and so last week we done Son undervalued at Spurs, and I think almost everyone said he was undervalued at Spurs. So this week's topic, and I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit early on this, but obviously now it's coming to that time of the season. They still haven't arranged the North London derby. Everyone sat there thinking, when is it going to be? I've seen people on Twitter, social media, all the fans saying we need to organise our trips down to London Stadium. We need to know what it is, when it is, so we can book the days off. And as per usual, the FA, the Premier League are waiting for Sky to make a decision on what day they would like the game to be played. And most importantly, it's looking like Sky are waiting patiently to see how the next couple of games go before actually deciding on when the fixture is going to be. And I said this and I predicted this. It's going to be the penultimate game of the season. It's going to be a midweek game. So it means the final game of the season, it could be either done and dusted, or it could be whoever wins that North London derby then goes into that final game either guaranteed fourth or needing to win. Now, for me, I think they announced it yesterday or the day before that it's going to be sometime in May. We still haven't got an actual definition or a final answer. I think they're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, basically. I think they've revamped Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they've called it Who Wants to Be in the Champions League. And you've got your 50-50, you've got your phone a friend, but the phone a friends now become phone the FA or the Prem. You've got don't ask the audience and don't ask the fans, because that exactly is not what they're going to do. And then the final answer is going to be Sky will decide what day it's going to be. And I've already got a few people on saying, has the North London been arranged? I don't think it's been arranged, but it's coming towards I think they've said May. And I think it's going to be that final week in between us playing Burnley and Norwich. I think they're going to fly it in there. Or it might be straight after the Liverpool game before we go to the Burnley game. So either way, we've got a really, really tough schedule. Both teams have. I think they've got a worse one. We're going to look into that in a minute, Sean. But what's your take on this North London derby still not being reorganised?
Do you know what? The hypocrisy of Sky. Remember when they were broadcasting all the behind closed doors matches, and they were saying how it missed the fans, how the fans are the heartbreak. The fans are the least considered people when it comes to scheduling football. The later they leave it, the more expensive it's going to be. People had this ticket that they're holding on to from the original fixture when Arsenal took chicken and ran away.
Yeah.
And, again, the last of the considerations. I will have no more hypocrisy from Sky Sports about how fans are make it happen. Yeah, they want full stadiums. They love it when we're there, but they don't care how we get there or what it's going to cost or the organising of travel and how much it's going to hit us in the pocket. I just cannot stand that organisation. They think that football started in 1992. Well, I'm testament here that football happened well before that. And I hate this recency bias that goes on in football coverage nowadays. So horrible organisation who don't give a damn about fans. And that's not just our club, all the clubs.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal played it right. Obviously, we was on fire. We was on form at that time. And one COVID case, and they decided to, you know what, let's put it in there and let's try and cancel the game. We had the momentum going. And I think basically they just bottled it and they got away with it. Now, like you said, Sean, every like myself, I've got season tickets. That weekend, that Sunday was all penciled in for the Tottenham Arsenal game. Like many other people, I'm lucky I'm not that far from the stadium, but you've got people that are coming from Ireland, Scotland, America, wherever and everywhere. They've already lost flight tickets, hotel accommodation and everything for the one that got cancelled. Now, they've got to sit there on tenterhooks waiting for them lot to make a decision as when the game's going to be scheduled. We all know it's going to be midweek. So people are going to struggle to get flights in midweek. Prices are probably going to go up because the further it gets going towards summer. Hotel accommodation, people that have booked them premium packages, stuff like that. And I still see people saying just hurry up and make a decision. So we all know what it is. The way the season's going at the moment, we've come to form and Arsenal are in form. If we hadn't come to form and if we had lost a few more matches and we were 6, 8, 9 points behind Arsenal, this game would have been rearranged already. But because now we're getting to that stage where we're both vying for each other, I mean, as it stands now, they've played 28 games, we've played 29, and they're 3 points ahead of us, right? So everything's possible. So they're looking at, you know what? Let's just wait for the next couple of games. And I personally think that's what they're doing. They're going to wait for the next 2 or 3 games before they actually release.
And the cost keeps going up and up and up for the fans. Going up. And just such a horrible organisation.
Yeah, and I think
it took integrity. They haven't got an ounce of integrity in this. I mean, aside from the technical side, they have improved the technical side of covering football, but for everything else, they've just been a terrible organisation to control football the way that they do.
Yeah, and ultimately what they want is they want a Champions League 4th spot battle. That's what they want. They want it to be a winner takes it all kind of thing, and that's what they're looking at. And I think that's what they want, because if it becomes like a battle of Tottenham Stadium for who gets 4th place, they know they're going to get the viewers. They know. I mean, it's a shame they can't do it pay-per-view, right? Because they would have used that all day long to try and get as many. Can you imagine? Yeah. Luckily, it's not. But ultimately, like I said, that's what they're looking at. But the problem they've got, but which they're not going to care about, is it's a midweek game, and it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to get there. I know everyone will do everything in their powers to get to that stadium because it is Tottenham Arsenal, and the way both teams are going. It's.
I mean, one of the dates that's been suggested is May the 12th, a Thursday.
Yeah, which is straight after the Liverpool game, isn't it? I think it's after the Liverpool game before the Burnley game. Yeah,
and the reason it's been moved to the Thursday is I think there might be a European final on the Wednesday or something. I don't know.
No, there's no European finals because as far as I know, the European finals are at the weekend.
Or maybe there's a semi-final or something, and that's why it can't be on the Wednesday. Yeah. And you just think, then that you got 2 days between that match and the, it's just a pain in the backside,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, Arsenal have obviously got to play the game they're missing against Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's why it's probably they're going to delay because they want to know what the result of that is. Because if they were to lose that game, and it is at their place, although they've got a good record at Stamford Bridge, that would tee it all up because we'd be played the same number of games, and there's only 3 points in it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually look. We're going to have a look at the fixtures that are coming up. So here we go. Right. Brackets time. So what I've done is I've sort of done the fixtures that are coming up. So we've got Newcastle United at home. And that same weekend, they've got Crystal Palace away. Now, that's this weekend coming. So I think we play first on the Sunday, and we've got Newcastle at home. And on Monday, they've got Crystal Palace away. So the 3 points ahead of us, they've got 54. We've got 51. So if we look at it that way, Newcastle think we're going to get the win?
Yeah, I think so. I think Newcastle just seem to have done enough to make sure that they're safe for next season to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I can't see them being dragged down again. And yeah, I would hope that at home, with the full stadium, everyone, back in the team, we should win that game. Yeah. Be narrow. It'll be narrow, but then we only won 3-2 up at their place. So it's to be expected, I suppose.
That's it. And they've got Palace away on Monday night. And I personally think Palace is going to give them a game. I think Patrick Vieira is going to be, obviously, unless Patrick Vieira does Patrick Vieira and sort of does Arsenal a favour. But the way Palace are playing at the moment, I've got a sneaky feeling that, what do you call it? I've got a sneaky feeling that they're going to, I honestly think Arsenal are going to get beat by Crystal Palace.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got a feeling because it's at Palace's ground and Palace have got some momentum going at the moment. So I've got a sneaky feeling Arsenal ain't going to like going to Palace's stadium because it's a small ground and the fans' atmosphere, they'll be behind the Palace. So I reckon coming at the end of this weekend, I think we're going to be on level on points.
It is a possibility. I mean, Palace have been playing well. They seem to have got themselves into a groove. Vieira's got playing really good football. And that they've had a decent bit of run of form, as I say. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this Arsenal team do seem to be playing for the manager, don't they? And
yeah,
it could be. I think maybe a draw like in the corresponding fixture at their place might be possible.
Yeah, and then so that's this weekend. Then the following weekend, we've got Aston Villa away, and they're at home to Brighton.
Yeah. Of those fixtures, I'd say ours is the tougher, wouldn't you? You just don't know what Villa's going to turn up, Although I expected them to do better against Arsenal, and never had a shot on target in the whole 90 minutes,
Yeah.
So it's difficult to say. I mean, certainly Brighton seem to have bottomed out and are in a bit of a slump, to say the least. So I'd imagine that they would be at Brighton comfortably enough.
Yeah.
But our games, the tougher of the two, I would say, definitely.
I think Villa away at Villa Park is going to be, for me, I think we're going to find that difficult because obviously Watkins, Coutinho's back on form. Gerrard will be up for it as well. But I don't know. You know, it's a tricky one. But at the moment, we've got good momentum going, and the players are going to be fit and raring to go. Kane's back in form, Son's back in form, Bentancur's doing bits, and Kulu's doing bits, Romero's as well. I think it's going to be a difficult game. But the problem with Villa, they hit and miss, aren't they? They hit and
Oh
miss.
God, yeah. Marmite, you know.
Yeah. And
Marmite performances, certainly, you know.
exactly. And the problem is Gerrard going to get them geared up to sort of spoil the party for us? I don't know. I mean,
it's interesting. I was chatting to, as I said before, I was chatting to Chris Waddle last weekend, and he said when he played for Tottenham, he never understood why they were hated. You know, didn't understand it. He said every club really raises their game against Tottenham. It's like it's in the DNA of every club that you've got to perform against Tottenham, you know, and that could be the case. But you know, I seem to remember Sonny with only one arm getting a last-minute winner there not that long ago. So
yeah, that's it.
I mean, I think we've got quite a good record at their place, but it's going to be tough. Yeah. I think we might get a draw out of that.
And then we got Brighton at home.
Oh yeah.
They've got Southampton away. So here, this week, that weekend, I think the tables get turned, don't they? Where we potentially at home to Brighton should be 3 points, and Southampton away for them again could be another tricky try. However, again, it depends on which Southampton turns up, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You look at their two recent games against City, one in the league and one in the cup.
Yeah.
In the league, they should have taken all 3 points, and in the cup, they were absolutely cuffed, you know. So,
right.
All we can hope is that former friends like Kyle Walker-Peters can do us a favour.
Let me just hold on that thought. Hold on. And Mr. Hotspur Hustler, good evening, Mike. How are you?
How you doing, guys? Right?
Yeah.
Fine. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I had to.
That's all right.
Had to sort out the kids and stuff.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So basically, what we've just discussed the potential of the North London derby and Sky holding the ransom and playing the game of who wants to be a Champions League spot, and we're sort of saying that, well, from what I've gathered, it's going to be straight after Liverpool and before the Burnley game.
I saw that.
So what we're looking at now is we're just looking at the fixtures prior to that. So obviously we've got Newcastle at home, Villa away. They've got Palace away, Brighton at home, and then we've got Brighton at home, Southampton away. Now, myself and Sean, we reckon we get 3 points at Newcastle, and I personally believe Vieira is either going to do Arsenal a favour or give them a good game. But because they're on the momentum, I've said Palace will do them, so we go level on points. Then we've got Villa, they've got Brighton, and
from Arsenal's games there, I think Palace and Southampton, I think they could get results against Arsenal.
Yeah,
I think Brighton on a downward spiral myself. I think they'll beat them comfortably. They might. Southampton. You could argue with Southampton and Crystal Palace. It depends what team turns up, because if you got the Palace team that turns up, they can be very good. The same as Southampton. We've seen it against us, really. Yeah. And so. I think it depends on what team turns up. But I do think that those two teams are more than capable of getting results. To be fair, on their day, they're able to get results against anyone there, to be honest.
And I think Sean was saying that he's hoping your mate, KWP, plays a blinder for Southampton and does us a favour.
I can only hope. We can only hope.
Yeah.
If he does us a favour, I'm all for it. I'm not why wouldn't we be? Like, if he could do us a favour, I'd be all over that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it all does depend, because the problem is with these mid-table teams is if they've got nothing to play for, i.e., they can't challenge for Europe and they can't get relegated. The last 10 games, they could almost just see it as, well, we can't go up, we can't go down, we can't challenge for anything. Let's treat it as pre-season and we'll field some of the youth players, and that's the danger with, especially when these sort of teams are playing either the teams in the relegation battle or teams that are fighting for European spots. So that's the only danger for us, I suppose. But
I think, Mike, the position gets you more money. You know, the higher you finish up the table, it does get you more money, and you really, the accountants, if nothing else, will be saying you perform because we want the money to come in for next season. You know,
the only thing I don't know is, like, when it gets to mid-table, what that sort of pot, what level of pot gets shared out. I honestly don't know. But I mean, you could argue it's the same with the teams that we've got, like Villa, Newcastle, Brighton. What they got to play for? Newcastle are pretty much all but safe. Villa is safe. Brighton, I mean, although I think they're on a bit of a downward spiral, I mean, they're not going to get relegated. So you could argue there's 6 teams there that have effectively nothing to play for. Well, probably 4 teams with Brighton and stuff. But
to be fair, if you look at the league table now, right, Wolves are 8th and they've got 46 points. Aston Villa are 9th on 36. Leicester have got 36. Southampton have got 35, and Crystal Palace have got 34. So to be fair, Aston Villa, Leicester, Southampton, and Crystal Palace are playing between 4th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th positions. So,
I don't know what Sean thinks, but I mean, for us, take Arsenal out of the equation here. For us, those 3 games there, they're nice games to have, really, because you don't want to be playing those teams down the bottom because they're fighting for their life, and you know what will happen.
Yeah,
one of those teams, if those 3 teams were in the bottom, fighting down the bottom, you know, one of them would end up getting a bloody result, which is on the balance of probability, especially when they're fighting for their lives. And it's the same if any team is fighting for, I don't know, top 4 or fighting for the Premier League title, you don't want to be facing them because you know they're going to be on form. And again, on the balance of probability, you'd probably get beaten. But I don't think we can argue with those 3 games in the next. Me personally, I want 9 points.
Yeah. And
we all want 9 points, Mike, but that's wishes, isn't it? You know,
I think out of them 3 games we've got, I think Villa's going to be the tricky one, and I think me and Sean have said that on that. It depends which Villa turns up, but away to Villa, that could be a tricky one. Whereas
I'm seeing 7 points in those 3 games.
Yeah, I'm saying 9 points. I mean, like I said, this weekend I think we'll go level with Arsenal because I think they'll get beat by Palace.
Especially Palace at home. They've got Palace away. It's not. It all depends. It does really depend on what Palace team turns up. They're a funny. They're a funny team. Yeah. Great team on a day, but they're just so inconsistent, which is why they are where they are in the league.
Yeah, that's it. So after that, they've got, this is their game in hand. Yeah, so they've got Chelsea away.
Ouch.
Yeah, so they've got Chelsea away. So this is a midweek game. Straight after that weekend, they've got Chelsea away. So the problem is
that been scheduled?
It's been rescheduled. Yeah, so they've got a
date for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you call it? Away to Chelsea, they've got a good record at Stamford Bridge, haven't they? So
they have. Yeah.
Who Arsenal have they?
Yeah, they have a really good record at Stamford Bridge.
I didn't realise.
Especially compared to our dreadful record there.
This is it. So that for me is going to be an interesting game. And to be fair, you can't predict that one. That just could go either way. Honestly, I can't predict that one.
The thing with it is Chelsea. They're still sort of fighting for top 4. And so I know you could argue that they are pretty much nailed on for top 4, but then you have to have a few slip ups, and the teams sort of like slightly further down, like in, I don't know, 5th, 6th, 7th, then you have to pick up some wins. and all of a sudden that top 4 race could look very different. So Chelsea can't sort of really afford to take their foot off the gas just yet.
Yeah.
To me, that's possibly a more crucial game than our game with Arsenal.
Yeah, because that, right, Sean, like you're saying, that is their game in hand. So after this set of fixtures, we now level on games. Yeah. So exactly what you're saying. Now, after these 3 games for us and 4 games for them, that's where the table now, that's where it begins now, because then that's where we've played the same amount of games. And we've got 5 games left. And then depending on what points we are, I mean, I don't know. After them, if we get 9 points and they lose 2 games, then it's on, isn't it? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then after the Chelsea game, they've got Man United at home, and we've got Brentford away.
I mean, I'm looking at these 4 games on paper. The crucial thing for us is keeping a fit team. If we keep a fit team, and if we're able to keep that same 11, I think that will be crucial for us to stand any chance. He's got to keep that same 11 that's been picking up the wins and the getting the points, etc. over the last, I don't know, few games. We seem to have like that settled team now, and I think if we can keep that settled team going forward from now until the end of the season, that I think will be sort of, well, it'd be crucial. It'd be a deciding. I say deciding factor. I think it will play a massive part as to whether we're sort of successful to obtaining that top 4 spot.
Yeah, Sean, let me ask you a question. If at this point now, right, we're 3 points behind them, they've got 1 game in hand. If this was given to you now, the next 5 games for them and the next 4 games for us, as a Spurs fan, are you looking at this thinking, do you know what? We can have them here before the next set of games? I mean,
bitter experience says. Bitter experience tells me not to count the chickens before they hatch. I tell you, I'm certainly not enumerating the poultry here. I still don't want to talk about top.
No, we're not talking about. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the games,
I mean, I would rather have our fixtures. I'd rather have our 100%. Yeah. I hope we don't get caught up in emotion with Ericsson away at Brentford.
Yeah.
Let's not get, let's wish him well, but we need to take the 3 points. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, for me,
I think at this point, when they've played Man United at home, we will know whether the top 4 is on.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just said it. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, you said it. But, do you know what? For me, them 3 games that they've got, Southampton away, Chelsea away, Man United at home, and I think that's all within a week, I'd say 7 to 8 days. I think that is going to test their squad because he's not been using that many players, and I think that is going to be a big ask to go to Southampton away, then Chelsea away, and Man United at home. That, that could be like a pinnacle for them in terms of injuries, fitness, and stuff like that.
I think the other thing, I mean, echoing what Mike was just saying about the same 11, we really need to make sure that Romero's not diving in, getting a yellow card to get him banned. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone needs to sit down with him and say, there's a certain cut-off date where you can't be banned, and you just got to get to that date without doing anything rash.
Yeah. Thing is, with that, Sean, I do agree with what you're saying, but if someone's in Romero's ears to stop being so rash and stop picking up so many yellow cards, which it's a given in itself, but does that take away an element of his game? Because his massive I don't know what the word is, but a massive part of his game is intercepting, and he is very good at that. Whereas where he intercepts, it does run that risk of getting a yellow card, but then it also can lead on to an attack, can't it? So it's like, what if you tell him not? I know. I don't know. You're stuck in a catch-21, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think Conte's going to have a word with him, because Conte knows how important he is as a defender and how important of a period we're going into. So I think Conte's going to have a word with him, and he's going to say to him, listen, none of these stupid challenges that you've been doing recently, just avoid them.
Challenges. It's the challenges. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just avoid them challenges.
I want him for the Arsenal game, and I want him to be able to. I want him to be able to, dive in there. That's the be all and end all game for us.
Absolutely.
But it's it's just about just reiterating what Mike said about keeping the same 11 as much as possible.
Yeah. And
we can't.
By the Brentford game, Skippy could be back by the Brentford game, they reckon, because they're not. Apparently, he's had another setback. Well, not setback, but he's not being told the real truth. But they reckon Brentford game now could be a possibility. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I thought he was supposed to be back after the international break. I thought they said he's pretty much back in training after the international break. But
apparently not. Apparently now they reckon it's worse than what they thought, and they reckon Brentford. So I don't know.
Sessegnon's back at the same time as well.
Yeah. So I don't know.
What, Brentford game?
Brentford game, yeah.
Yeah. But then moving on.
According to what I read on the
thing is, we can afford it, like the odd change in midfield.
Yeah.
But we can't afford that. And you could probably say we could afford the odd change maybe with Kulu, but generally in the attack and in defence, we really can't afford any changes there. Especially in that back line. If you take out Romero, take out Dyer, and we're in trouble.
Absolutely. And the other thing as well, I think Toxic Headshots just said it on here, is we can't rule Man United out of top 4. That is true.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah. And this Arsenal-Man United game, that could be a pinnacle game as well, because both of them could be in the running for top 4. And again, that could be a shootout as well for who takes, one of them could eliminate the other one out of the running. So
you can't, only a daft man would write Man United off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's obvious as Spurs fans, our focus is going to be Arsenal because of history, But it's going to be.
And then they got West Ham as well.
They've got West Ham. We've got. I think the weekend they play Man United. We've got Leicester at home. Then they've got West Ham away. And we've got Liverpool away. So I mean,
Leicester's not an easy game. Liverpool's obviously.
For me, Liverpool is probably dependent on the Champions League. I think they might have a Champions League game that week. I'm not too sure. West Ham might have the Europa League. Me personally, I think West Ham now need to concentrate on the Europa League and not the Prem, because they've sort of gone spiraling downwards in terms of form, and they're missing players. They've got players injured, and his strength, his squad strength is not that many. So he needs to decide whether he concentrates on the Europa League or the Prem. So that one for me.
The reward for Europa League is really good. You go into the Champions League if you win it.
No, you can't. Next season you don't go into the Champions League.
Huh?
So what you don't go
into the Champions League next year. They've changed the format.
So then, what's the point in entering Europa if you're not going to get Champions League? What's the incentive to win it? Like
you go back into it next year. From what I've gathered, they've changed the format, so the winners of the Europa League this year do not get into the Champions League next year.
No, I've not heard that, Sid. No, I'm sure I read on it recently. They definitely get into the Champions League.
No,
maybe one of the viewers can let us know.
Have a look.
I'm sure there's always someone that's pretty hot on the take.
Yeah. So you two discuss this Liverpool West Ham game. I'm just going to check it up now.
Yeah. So Liverpool. I mean, I've been to Anfield so many times to watch this, and I think I've only seen us win once, and that was Klinsmann FA Cup game.
I was there.
Yeah. God.
Thing is, it does. I mean, again, with what Sid was saying, like if Liverpool have, what are they in the semi-finals of the Champions League? Yeah, is that? I can't remember what round it is.
Quarters, isn't it?
Is it quarters?
Yeah, quarters.
See, but then
Who've
Liverpool got
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think they've got one of the easier ties. I'm not too sure.
Are they? Well, mind you, they're on for a quadruple.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is.
They're on for
they
a
are.
quadruple. Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
could win everything in domestically, and they could win the Champions League. Now that would be, I wouldn't put it past them. You know, I mean, I could see them catching City.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, nothing breeds confidence like success, and if you keep winning, it becomes so much easier. You know.
Yeah, it does. And especially at this time of the season, Liverpool, obviously, they're going to be. They've got a sniff of the league. They're not going to be an easy. Regardless if they've got a Champions League game before or
that's
after.
Why I'm not putting much store by the fact that they might have distractions elsewhere. They're going for everything.
But
then immortality comes with that, doesn't it?
There's nothing to say we couldn't pick up a point away from home, and though it's a big ask.
Yeah.
Because we've proved we can play against Liverpool, we can score against them, but we never get a
we haven't got Serge Aurier to give them a cheap penalty.
yeah. But then you look at
Arsenal to concede a last-minute winning own goal. Yeah.
But if you look at Arsenal, they haven't got a striker, and if you look at that team, I honestly think Arsenal. I think they've been punching above their weight, like, and I do, because they haven't got a register. You look at that squad, Sid. Sean. Yeah. You look at Arsenal's back four. It's not a great back four. You look at they've got no striker. They've got no actual striker. And they're using Lacazette up front, and they're relying on their midfielders and their defenders to get them out of, or to get them the results and stuff. At some point, surely they're going to come unstuck against the better teams who have a strong back line, a strong midfield, and a strong forward line. And you could argue Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham on paper have that.
Yeah. And so, do you agree with this comment by Portal Mac? Then, am I the only one who thinks that Arsenal have been overachieving? They aren't exactly dominating games.
Yeah.
Well, they did dominate Man City for 25 minutes, didn't they?
Yeah, but taking 6 points off of City is not for everyone, is it, Sid?
No, it's not. It's not for everyone. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh, dear.
But you know what? Looking at them next 6 games, right? If you was a neutral and you was giving them next 6 games, you know which games they're going to take, don't you? They're going to take the games on the left. All right, Liverpool probably is going to be the hardest one out of that. And our record going to these places, we always struggle. But if we give a performance like we did at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we should have played them off the park, and we should have battered them. If we can do that away, even if we can get a draw out of that game, yeah. But then if you look at the other side and you look at what they've got, you're probably thinking, oof, that's a tough one, isn't it?
I mean, the Chelsea, Man U, West Ham trio is you know, that could be the evening up of the race between us two. But I suppose the unspoken factor is what a Manchester United fixtures like.
I can bring them up in a second. Right, so after that game, they've got Leeds United at home.
3 points.
3 points.
Right, now, this okay, so this is the fixtures now, right? This is where potentially Sky are now looking at putting in the game. After the West Ham Arsenal game and Tottenham Liverpool game, this is where now they're trying to, before the Leeds and the Burnley game, this is potentially what they're looking at, is to slip that game in on a Wednesday or Thursday night after we've played Liverpool and after they've played West Ham. So it's going to be, apparently from what I gather, between the Liverpool and Burnley game and the West Ham and Leeds game. So potentially the London derby now has happened. Yeah, has happened. And then we go into the Burnley and Leeds game. So them 6 fixtures that we've just looked at, if we forget the last 2 games that I've just put up, if we take them last 6 games and work out the results or whatever, now we've come into the Arsenal-Tottenham game. Where do you think now, what's the situation in the league table now? I'm just being hypothetical now here. Are we going to be going into that Tottenham Arsenal game on level par, or is Arsenal going to be above us, or are we going to be above them? Looking at these 6 fixtures, because
on paper, let's be real here. On paper, if we get the results that we all think we probably should get, we should be the advantage should be with us.
Yeah.
Because you look at those the 3 games there: Chelsea, West Ham, Man United. You're going to think they're going to be dropping points there, and we've got what: Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Brentford.
Yeah.
We should be on paper. The advantage should be with us.
It should be, but we don't play on paper. Unfortunately, we play on grass.
That's the problem. The problem, like you said, is that's the problem. Now, hypothetically, right, the 6 games we've got, yeah. So we win, and draw. So I'm looking at 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 points, right?
Yeah.
Or 16. 16 points. They potentially could get 3, 4, 5. They probably could get 5, 8 points, maybe 9, 10 points. I don't know. But if them 6 fixtures were played now and the North London derby's on Thursday, do we think we'll be level on points?
I think we'll. Well, I've just done a calculation of what I expect, and I think we'll be level on points.
Right.
Level on points. Yeah. If they get 10, we're getting 13, and that will be us all even going into the last 2 fixtures.
Right. So, no, we're not going into so that you're saying we're 3 points, right? We're level on points. So that North London derby now becomes massive, doesn't it? Does that now come to the point where it's winner takes all, or are we saying there's still to play for?
It'll make a statement, but you know, it's
you get me.
You don't know. Burnley and Norwich for us, and then
we should be beating Burnley at home.
Well, I mean, Burnley have been pretty crap at our place, haven't they? I mean, look at we've given them right cuffings, And
then Norwich,
come on, and that's it. There you go. So I think, if I'm right, I think Leeds. I think one of them is midweek game. I can't remember which one it is, but I think one of them is a midweek game. But the last game they've got Everton at home. We've got
Norwich
away, and then I think the Leeds game's midweek because they've got Newcastle away at the same time we've got Burnley at home. So, you know what?
A few midweek games for them. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you both I'm going to ask you both a question now. I'm going to do a Sam, and I'm going to put you both in the spotlight. Looking at them 8 games we've got and the 9 games you've got, right? What points are we going to get from them? And then let's say the last game of the season is Tottenham Arsenal. Going into that Tottenham Arsenal game, last game of the season, after these fixtures, what's the table going to be saying? Go on.
Let Sean go first on this.
Go on, Sean.
I'm just going to look on the fixtures that you've put up there.
Yeah.
And I've worked out.
Actually, go on. Let me put it this way. No, let me change this. Before the last 2 games, the Burnley and
I see us getting 19 points from our last 8 fixtures. 19. For those 8 fixtures.
Okay. From them 8,
who do you think we're dropping points to? Obviously, you're thinking Liverpool.
Liverpool, I don't think we'll get anything, and I've got a sneaking suspicion about Villa that we'll just draw there.
Okay.
But we'll win the rest.
Right. Mike, what do you reckon? How many points do you reckon we're getting from them?
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21. That's 24, isn't it? I think I'm going to go 2021. I'm just Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That's what I honestly think. 2021. I don't think it's obvious. The Liverpool game. I'm discounting Liverpool because if we get anything out of them, it's a bonus. That's the way I'm seeing that. So if minus that as 3 points. So
you're saying 15. Sean, what did you say? 18.
That's what I said. 19 was it?
You're saying
I'm
19.
going 20. I'm going 20.
You're going 20. So Sean, if you're saying 20, we
19.
He's going 19.
So if
I think we're going to lose to Liverpool and we'll draw with Villa.
So if you're saying 19, Spurs go on to 70 points. Mike, what you're saying?
I'm going. I mean, I'm going 20.
You're saying 20, right? So that takes us to 71, right? Mike, Sean, what are they getting from them fixtures? Arsenal.
It's at 27, isn't it?
Yeah.
6, 9, 12, 15, 18,
Out of 27.
Sorry, I'm just doing the maths in my head, and I was never the greatest scholar of maths. So,
Mike, you might as well work yours out as well. Because there's some tough fixtures in there, so
I'm going 15 for Arsenal.
You're going for 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying 15.
Yeah.
Okay. So that takes them on to 69. So Mike, you're 69-71, right? Just remember that.
Mm.
So you're 2 points.
Oh dear.
I know.
Do you know what's a really tricky fixture to predict is Newcastle away.
Yeah.
Last home game of the season, full stadium.
Yeah.
They want to finish on a high.
And you remember what they done to us?
Yeah. Oh God, I was there, sitting in the home fans. Don't remind me.
I know. What are you saying?
Yeah, I would be no good on countdown.
No, I'm not.
I think I'm going to go the same points as Mike.
Which is
15, wasn't it?
Yeah, 15.
15. Right. So your 15 takes them to 15.
69.
69. Yeah. So basically, Mike, you're saying 71-69, and Sean saying 70-69. So that final game, if it was to be Tottenham Arsenal, is the shootout for Champions League, basically, right? Basically, yeah, that is a shootout. So if Sky
will all be over by.
Yeah, if Sky are watching this, then they need to put that at the last game of the season, but it's not going to happen. But
if at any point the sort of points difference, if it gets to 6 points, I think it's over then.
Yeah, I mean, if
every game should be a final. That's the way Spurs, and I'm sure that's probably how they'll look at it. And one game.
That's what Conte has said.
Yeah.
Sorry?
He said we had 9 cup finals, so.
Yeah, we've got 9 cup finals. It's, you know what, it's 100%. I mean, Jodie, well, good evening, Jodie. She's saying we've definitely got the easier fixture.
Yeah.
And it's so true here. She's also saying problem is we're Spurs, which is absolutely. Portomac is saying here, as for Arsenal, their next 3 games will determine their destiny. In my honest opinion, especially against Palace, do they still have the momentum, or has the international break screwed their rhythm? And that's a big, that's a good point. Spursy 141 saying we have to rely on Arsenal and Man United making mistakes. That is true. Sky Bonner saying here, Sky want a winner takes all game. I hark back to the season where the Man City was rearranged to the second last game of the season that we won. It's all looking this way. Scott M is saying I think 15 points, absolute maximum amount of points we get from those games, probably less. Spursy 141 is saying 16 points.
16 for us.
Yeah, I think so. Spursy. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, she's saying we get 16 and Arsenal getting 19.
Blimey. It'd be interesting to see out of the comments what games people think we're dropping points against. I know everyone's going to say Liverpool, so that's a given. But
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what everyone else says about the other games that we're going to drop points against.
Yeah, Alex Hilton, 34, including North London Derby. Where's he got 34 from? Maximum we can get is 36.
I think he probably means 24.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, he's probably meaning probably a typo.
Yeah, I think Scott M is saying I have 19 for Arsenal on the games that you have listed on the screen.
19.
Yeah. Porto Mac is saying 12 for Arsenal. I sincerely don't rate them. Yeah, 34. So, but I think let's put it another way. Let me just be a devil's advocate here, right? 6 games for us, which is the top 6. Forget the bottom 2 and forget the bottom 2 for Arsenal. So if we're looking at Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester and Liverpool, what we getting out of them? What we getting out of that? I'm not counting the last 2 games, right? Because we all know by the
15.
looks of it, we're getting 15, right?
That's what I think.
Right.
I honestly do think 15. Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
You're going with 15. Sean, what do you reckon we're going to get out of these 2?
13. 13.
Right. And then Arsenal up to and including Leeds. So they're 7 games. What are they getting out of that 7 games?
I think they. I'm going 9.
You're going 9. Okay. Sean,
10 for me.
10 for them. Right. So, and this is now devil's advocate. This now takes us into the North London Derby, right? So, if we add your 15, Sean, to Tottenham, they're on 56, and Arsenal would be on 66. Arsenal would be on 67. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, hold on. No, sorry. 15. Sorry, no. You said 15 for Spurs. Yeah. 15. And Mike said 13. One of you said 13, didn't you? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
no, I said 13.
Yeah.
Sean said 13. I said 15.
Yeah. So that's 60.
9, sorry.
64 and 66. And then it takes Arsenal on to 63 and 64. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, we're sort of level peggings going into that North London Derby game. So,
which is probably about right, to be fair.
Yeah. So that North London Derby for me is not going to be winner takes it all, to be fair, because either one of us can lose that North London Derby and go into Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, and Everton. Still
with a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly think it's going to go to the last game of the season. And if it goes to the last game of the season, which, again, you know, we're going to the final game of the season, Norwich away, Everton home, who you're hedging your bets on that one to decide the top 4? Because I think it's going to go all the way. I think it's going to go to the final game of the season.
Well, it just depends on what the gap is and who's in front, and, you know, without being able to predict that.
Yeah. But
you'd hope to be, you know, have a point on them or something like that. But
either way, if we go into that final game of the season, right, whether we're on level points,
we're both winning. They're both winning.
They're both winning.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, Everton at home. God dear, you can have asked for a better last fixture.
Yeah. The only thing is, if they're fighting again, it's the soul. If they're fighting for their lives, if they have to actually be scrapping. You just don't. It's one of them, isn't it? You just don't know. But on the form that they're in now, yeah, you'd bank on Everton just it's 3 points. But I suppose we can only hope that if they are scrapping for their lives, that they actually put in a performance and They've
If
got
only
the players.
Dele Alli could remember the player he once was, eh?
I was just going to say, like, they've got the players to get a result. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So
I'd love Andros. Unfortunately, Andros is out for the season, so I'd loved him to bang one in the top corner, but no, it's not going to help us, I'm afraid.
You'd also have Calvert. You'd have Van der Beek.
Yeah.
They've got. There's probably half a dozen players there that you'd easily be like, yeah, I'd probably take them to Tottenham. If not even, maybe not so much the first 11, but certainly to fit into our squad. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I think Mark Spurs reckons I think we'll be all right. Arsenal will lose at least 2 games, and then the pressure is on them. Toxic Headshot is saying Arsenal surely cannot win all the games. Chelsea, Man U losses, but I think Spurs just need to win all the games. Alex Hilton is saying here Spurs will win, draw, win. So I think Liverpool. Okay. And Arsenal is put down as draw, win, loss, draw, win, loss, draw. The problem is, I think it's like what you're saying. I think Kulu's saying here, we deserve a happy ending. Our team is completely different from a month ago with Bentancur and Kulu. I think potentially, right, like you said, we've got to win. We've got to approach every single game as a cup final, regardless. We've got the squad. We've got the players, and I think Bentancur and Kulusevski has made a massive difference to us. Whereas they've got no striker. They've got players that are sort of surviving because he doesn't trust any other players, and I think that's where it's going to be won and lost on the strength of the squads and how fit they are. I mean, the only thing for me is they've got, I think, Chelsea and Leeds midweek. I think we don't have a midweek game, so that could be crucial. I think
Leicester won't be an easy game.
No.
But again, it depends what Leicester team turns up.
This is the problem.
Well, I mean, they've not got a really good defence, though, have they? Everyone's scoring for fun against their defence, you know.
Yeah. I think ultimately, right, all them fixtures, we're saying that we could win all them and lose all them, and it's the same for Arsenal. I think it depends on which team turns up on the day. Like you said, Crystal Palace, if Patrick Vieira's drilled it into them and said, listen, guys, we're on a roll here, because they're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup as well, don't forget. So, you know, and he'll want him firing. Flip side to that is Arsenal. Does he still have a soft spot for Arsenal, and is he going to do Arteta a favour? I don't know.
West Ham won't want to do us any favours.
West Ham, yeah, but then will they want to do Arsenal any favours? And
well, I think they hate us more than they hate Arsenal.
Plus, Arsenal's trickier games are away.
Yeah.
Like Palace, Southampton, Chelsea, West Ham,
Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah. And Arsenal don't. They do struggle away from home, or they can struggle away from home.
Yeah.
I mean, our games here, our tricky games. Yeah, Liverpool away.
This is it. I think that's the main one.
Leicester at home.
Yeah. But Brentford as well. But then again, you know, when they came
and you can't write Villa off. But then, like, you saw them against Arsenal. They were playing at home, and they just looked woeful.
Yeah, this is it.
Not a shot on target against Arsenal.
Which is unlike a Steven Gerrard team. Like, So this is where these mid-team tables, teams, you just can't predict them really. But
no. So the question,
all we should be concentrating on is getting 3 points on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is
one day at a time.
Yeah, we've been here before too many times.
And just, you know what? Honestly,
to win on Sunday.
If I was coming back after an international break, and I was given Crystal Palace away or Newcastle at home, I'm taking Newcastle at home all day long.
Yeah. Because
Palace ain't going to be easy to go to that. Because I've been to their ground.
Yeah.
It's a small stadium. And when their fans are on song, I'm telling you now, it's intimidating. Yeah.
Well, we only have to look at when we got hammered 3-0. That crowd played a large part. I mean, Tanganga.
They got into Tanganga.
Yeah. So
absolutely. So, going back to the topic of the Ask Sid tonight, do we think then that North London derby, whenever it's penciled in, which we reckon is going to be a penultimate weekend, is that going to be the Champions League decider, or is there going to be more to be played in the final 2 games? Sean?
It could be, but it probably won't be.
So
I think to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
It could be, but it probably won't be.
Yeah. Mike?
Part of me agrees with what Sean's saying, but then part of me thinks it could be a 6-pointer insofar as I can see perhaps one of the teams being 3 points ahead if they win that game, it being 6. I'm so split on it at the moment, just because part of me keeps thinking, Tottenham is so inconsistent, and this inconsistent form just drives me mad. So I probably, if I'm gonna be honest with myself, I'll probably agree with along the lines of what Sean's saying.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know what
it'll go a long way to deciding it.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
But it may be decided even before in the preceding games.
It could be.
Well, when's our game? Is it before? Are we playing Arsenal after they've played West Ham, Man United, and Chelsea?
So at the moment, it looks like we play Liverpool, they play West Ham, and then that midweek we play Arsenal, and then the weekend after at that same weekend we've got Burnley, they've got Newcastle. So they reckon it's between that. It's between after the Liverpool game.
Yeah, but for them, for Arsenal, they got to play Chelsea, West Ham, Man United before they play us.
Yeah, let me just double check their fixtures. I think it's 1 second. So
they can finish up with nil points.
This is what I was thinking. So then,
I'm not saying they will, but
no.
I think it's after the West. I think after the West Ham game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before the Liverpool, before the Leeds game. Yeah.
So they've got to play those 3 teams before us. So it could be it could be done. Like it might not even matter. To be fair, if Arsenal don't pick up any point, hypothetically speaking, if they didn't pick up any points against
we need
West
to
Ham,
pick up points.
Exactly. Yeah, this is it. So
yeah.
We need basically on Sunday. We need Newcastle. We need to beat Newcastle. We need Palace to do us a favour, and then we're level on points, and then anything can happen. But we can't we can't discount Man United though. Like we just can't discount them. I know they're in a lot of. It feels like the issues that they've got are probably, I would say, what we had sort of just as we were ending Nuno's tenure at Spurs.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of issues to sort out, but you can't discount them. You can't write them off. Not when you got the likes of Ronaldo and stuff.
Yeah, Man United. Yeah, that's it. You can't, because like Bruno's just signed a new contract as well, and I think they'll want to be in Champions League because they're looking at players for next season already. And if Ten Hag's coming in as well, or whoever's coming in, they're going to put a massive push towards the Champions League. And
I don't think they're going to get Ten Hag.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It could be just media talk, but
who knows?
Van Gaal has anything to say.
Yeah. Well, I think
it ain't gonna be positive anyway. Yeah,
I think basically I've just looked at it as well. After they play Leeds, we play Liverpool. So it's basically gonna be the penultimate season. So it's after we've played Liverpool and they've played Leeds, and it's that week. So they'll have played 2, 4, 6, 7 games, and we'll have played 6 games. And
this is where we need Skip back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I know he's probably not going to be. The problem is, even though he comes back, he's not going to be anywhere near match fit. The same as Session, he could probably come back and sort of just slot back into the team and still have the core of that match fitness still there. But Skip's probably going to take him to get 90 minutes out of him at a level that we require. You're probably looking at half a dozen games for him to even have a fighting chance of sort of maintaining those sort of fitness levels that he had before his injuries. So having Skip back might not even be a big deciding factor for us because he's not going to be match fit anyways. But
yeah. I mean,
Sess would be a big player to have back. I mean, he's been unlucky with his injuries, but when he seemed like just before he got injured, he was picking up some form. And was it against Leeds? Yeah, I think it was against Leeds. We started looking a bit more confident. He put that ball in for Doherty to notch. He started looking like a bit more of a confident player and someone that actually, hold on a minute, there is something about Session that we could take forward, but he's just been unfortunate with injury, hasn't he?
I think you know the other main factor is going to be as well. I know Port Mac saying here that Sess and Skip returning is going to be big. I think what's going to be another key part of this fixtures to the end of the season or before the North London derby is who plays first, who plays second. Like, because we play Newcastle on Sunday, they've got Palace on Monday. So depending on how the games rotate, one of the teams is going to be under pressure because, like, for example, if we win on Sunday, we're level on points. They then have to go to Palace to win that game to gain the 3 points on top of us.
To gain the advantage.
Yeah, so whoever plays second fiddle is going to be the team under pressure. And I think...
Well, let's hope it's a bit more even than the Leicester title win where we seem to be going first and they always had an advantage, you know?
Yeah. So it's, it's going to... I mean, like you said, I don't think the North London derby is going to be the decider, but it all depends on what happens before the game. I mean, for all we know, both of us might be out of it. It might be Man United by the time we get to the North London derby. So, we just don't know. We just don't know. It's hard to predict. I know a lot of Man United fans will be like, hold on a second, you've left us out of the equation. We've not left you out of the equation. We just don't want to talk about you because you probably could sneak in. And out of the three teams, I think they've got a better equipped squad of players because they've been there, they've done it. And, and their bench is like next level. You put their bench next to our bench and Arsenal's bench, you know what I mean? It's like men versus boys. So on paper, they probably could have a good shout of getting that fourth position, but they're just so inconsistent at the moment, And I was going to put them into the equation, but then I thought, nah, I'll just leave them out because...
We've got 2 games over them, haven't we?
Over Man United? No, I don't think so, I
thought we did. I thought we have
29. No, we're level on games.
What, with Man United?
Yep. Arsenal have got a game in hand on Tottenham and Man United, and we've both played 29. Arsenal played 28. And their fixtures, so their fixtures are, if I quickly just go through their fixtures and then we'll talk about them, but they've got Leicester, Everton, Norwich, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, and Crystal Palace. So they've got a tricky. I mean, their last 2 games, Crystal Palace away and Man United at home. So,
yes, because he just can't buy them off.
I don't know. Those fixtures look quite good to me.
Yeah, I was just the last 2 games of the season.
It's not like they've got City or Liverpool or
they've got Liverpool.
Oh, they've got Liverpool, right?
Yeah, but if it goes to the last 2 games of the season, right, we've got Burnley and Norwich. Arsenal have got Newcastle and Everton. Man United have got Chelsea and Crystal Palace. So, I don't think they're out of it. To be fair, I don't think Man United are out of it. But as much as I'd love to say it, we've got to win all our games. Simple as. Because I see Arsenal and Man United losing points more than us losing points, unless we do a Spursy and do a Tottenham special. But if we look at the all fixtures now to the end of the season, I think we've got easier running.
The other thing we haven't factored into is goal difference, because that's worth a point.
Yeah.
Arsenal are plus 13, we're plus 11. Manchester United are only plus 8.
Yeah. And United have got Champions League as well, haven't they? Somewhere in between, haven't they?
No, they were knocked out.
They were knocked out.
Oh, they got knocked out. Yeah. Oh, well. There you go.
Yeah, but you can't. They're only a point adrift from us 4 points off Arsenal. You can't. We can't write them off.
Yeah.
I think West Ham. I don't think. I think their priorities are elsewhere now. West Ham's. They've got Europa. I think they're going to put all their eggs into that basket, and you would do going into a semi-final.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything. I do think it's out of us, us, Man United, and Arsenal. Obviously.
Yeah, that's it. But it's all hypothetically stuff, blah, and all that. Whatever happens, but Potomac is saying here, top 4 is in our hands, make or break. If Conte wished we play Chelsea now, that means he knows what we are now. So I think I don't know if he said that in his statement or not. I'm not too sure. But
yeah, I saw him say that. Yeah.
Did he say that?
He said he would like to play Chelsea now rather than when we did play them. You know? So
yeah. So you know what? I think we've said it all along, haven't we? We take the one match every match as it comes. We win that game. We move on to the next game. This was just a little bit of a play on the North London derby because Sky seems to be making a massive deal out of it because they still don't want to announce it. Don't know why. You know,
horrible organisation. I return to what I started with. Horrible organisation.
100%.
Don't care about the fans. No. Missed us when they had empty stadiums and lauded us to the skies, but don't care about fans travelling from 4 corners of the earth to follow both those teams. They've got to schedule flights, hotels, and as it gets closer and closer to the game, the price goes up and up and up. They don't care about us.
Yeah, they don't.
Never. If they ever say it's a game for the fans, just
absolutely.
Can't stand that organisation.
If they did care about the fans, you'd see most of these games being played at 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, like it used to be. I mean, call me old-fashioned or a legacy fan or a legacy football fan, but I much preferred when football was on a Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. kickoff.
Absolutely. That can't beat that.
I mean, at the weekend, even
even at the weekend. What is this Friday night, Monday night?
Oh man,
Wednesday night. Yeah. Leave Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays to Champions League and European football, and that's it. You know, I mean, Friday night is people going out, so leave that for Friday nights, and then Saturday, Sunday is where the football is. So, you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure having you both on the show tonight. Just like to say a big thank you to Catman Jess, Wayne Bonner, Full Bull, Jack Kaniki's on, Lookman Eunice is on. Thank you for joining us, guys. Potomac, Richard Evans, Spursy 141, Toxie Headshot, Solo 70MUA. Big up to you as well. Everyone that's been on, 38, 40, 50 viewers. Give a massive smash that button, like that button. Also, massive thank you to Alex Hilton, Scott M as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show tonight. It was just, everyone's talking about the North London derby, and I just wanted to have a quick chat about whether it is as important as everyone's making it.
What day is that? Is it in May? Is it in April or May?
May. I think at the beginning of the show, Sean was saying that they're looking at it as a Thursday because of some kind of. He reckons it might be Champions League on Tuesday, Wednesday. So
the rumor was May the 12th, which sticks in my mind because it's the day before my birthday. But
do you know what?
That's just before the Burnley game,
Yeah, it's a shame they can't make it on May the 4th because May the 4th we're with you, and it could be with us on the day. But
Star Wars Day,
yeah, but it's not going to happen. But massive thank you to everyone watching us tonight, streaming us as well on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Massive thank you to you, Mike and Sean. You're probably going to be popping up on the shows every now and then. Mike and Sean, I think you guys will be on tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
No, unfortunately, I won't be on this weekend.
Okay.
I've got a little appointment with the hospital, believe it or not, during the game on Sunday. I can't believe that they've given me a hospital appointment during the game.
No.
So I'll be nervous because I'm having a CT scan, but
fingers crossed for you, mate.
I couldn't. They couldn't have picked a worse time.
That's fine.
Don't tune into the Spurs result.
Exactly.
No,
Mike,
the phone will be off.
I'll be tomorrow at lunchtime. I think it's 12 o'clock, isn't it?
12 o'clock. I'll
Newcastle.
see you tomorrow. Just want to wish all the viewers, all the Muslim viewers watching, a massive happy Ramadan, because Ramadan starts tonight. So it's the month of fasting, and I'll be fasting. So for the next 4 weeks, guys, and I know everyone will be going, yes. You won't be hearing me singing, because I won't be singing on live stream. It'll be a nice and quiet sessions without any music or me singing. So you can celebrate that one.
Oh, we'll miss it, Sid. We'll miss it.
It's all right. I'll be back.
Is it 4 weeks, Sid?
4 weeks, 30 days,
4
yeah.
weeks, yeah.
29, 30 days, depending on the full moon at the end of it. So, yeah, I just hope everyone has a peaceful Ramadan and don't eat too much.
Absolutely.
And we shall see you soon on stream. And it's good evening from me. Come
on, you Spurs, from me.
Absolutely. Right, here we go. We're out. Just a quick reminder to everyone as well.
Sick.